All right, fashion dolls, and we are back with show number two. Our very special today, uh, our very special guest today is no stranger to the acting world. He is an award-winning, accomplished actor, and you might have seen him in some of the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise. I'm super excited for my very special guest today, my second very special guest today. As you can see, we just finished the first interview with Asif Ali Muhammad. Great conversation. But our next special guest has been a part of one of the biggest franchises in the film world there is, and that is Pirates of the Caribbean. And I'm super excited to have him back in the dollhouse with me, or during his first time here in the dollhouse. So, without further ado, fashion dolls, please welcome LejonStewart. Oh,
Stevie, can you hear me?
yes, I can hear you, and we can see you. You.
Yeah, I'm all messed up because I have to. I just got over this a cold, and it's still.
Oh, got you.
But yeah, I want a drink. I want a drink. I'm on a live show. Stevie would stop, but we're gonna bring some publicity to your spot. But please bring me some lemonade. And what is your name? What is your name? Hi, Maria. Yes, so if you could bring me some lemonade, that would be wonderful. Lemonade. Yes. Thank you, Maria. Sorry about that.
No, you're good. You are good. Welcome to the show. So, as I was introducing you, we know you from the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise. And of course, we have a mutual friend. She is here, Frances. Shout out to Mickey Solar, who is the owner and originator and creator of
We,
Original Magazine UK. So, thank you, Mick, so much for setting this interview up.
I
And
love
just
you.
being able to, and her just creating this publication added so much insight into our lives because we have so many. Yeah, shout outs to my brother, the K2 spot. Make sure you guys please go and check him out. Check out his platform and his talk show as well. Now, to you, Lejon, we know you again from the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise, but tell us, who is Lejon Stewart?
Ah, LeJon Stewart is a lover of life. I mean, that's who I am. Pursuing my career in the movie industry, in the entertainment industry, is a dream come true. Something that I dreamt about as a child and a young person, and to now be here living the life of doing movies and television shows, stage plays, music videos. Come on now. It's like I pinch myself every day. Every day, I'm like, I got another day of fun, and I'm getting paid, which is gracias. Yes, yes. Oh, by the way,
Now,
I'm also yeah, though. I'm also a father, a grandfather, and it's all about family. My mother is 90 years old,
wow.
and she is the hottest 90-year-old on the planet. She works because my running joke is, you know, my mother and I live together. And when I tell people that she's 90 years old and she's still working, I say, well, I'm an actor, so somebody has to work in the household.
Right.
So you send the 90-year-old out.
And is it true that the Disney Corporation and Lego Toys have created a doll in your likeness?
you know, that's another pinch me. Am I dreaming? Am I dreaming? Really? Yes, yes. And so many things had to kind of fall in place in the right way for that to happen. For example, the director of Pirates of the Caribbean is Gore Verbinski. And so first I was on the film as an extra. they auditioned. Now Jerry Bruckheimer and Gore auditioned 800 actors, and said one of these people that are auditioning as an extra will be on the rowboat with Johnny Depp and throughout the film. So I was the chosen one. And then once I got on the movie on location in Dominica, I was I was doing. They tell me, and I know it was a great job. And they said, okay, you know what, Lejon, we're gonna need to give you an upgrade. You're no longer an extra. You are a principal. You're gonna get paid big bucks. You will have residual checks for the rest of your life. And so, that is the blessing of being, of course, a principal character. Well, many blessings, but, to have that money coming in every 3 months, a check comes from Disney Corporation. I'm not mad. I'm not mad at all.
And you've
So
mentioned
back, oh,
you've
I'm sorry.
mentioned Pirates of the Caribbean. The Pirates of the Caribbean Dead Man's Chest was released in 2006, and the film grossed over $4.5 billion worldwide. So, what was it like to be a part of this franchise that everyone is watching?
It, it was amazing. I will start off by saying that the record, okay, our movie came out in June, like you said. A month earlier in May, the biggest grossing film was Spider-Man. And, everyone talking about Spider-Man, and, it made more money than any office for the weekend. And then we came along in June, and guess what we did? We broke that record, beat
Yep.
Spider-Man, and became the biggest grossing film for the weekend so far. And it was such an amazing feeling on so many levels. Just number one, when the movie came out, of course, every publication had to advertise, right?
Yep.
So lo and behold, I look at the LA Times, and what do I see? A picture of Johnny Depp and myself in the rowboat right there for the whole world, as well as People Magazine, Entertainment Magazine. Every major publication had to cover it. And of all the stills that Disney collected, they kept using the one of Johnny Depp and I and me over and over and
Every
over. I'm like, they've got, well, and they would insert some of Orlando Bloom sometimes. But our still was consistent on every publication for the opening of the movie. So I'm on cloud nine. I'm like I must be pretty good. I must have done something right in my life and in my career that this is happening.
and it's all coming to fruition for you. Now, what was it like going to the premieres to see yourself on screen in theater? Like, wow, this is something. And we just talked about this in my previous interview that I did with Austin about the power of manifestation and an epiphany. What was it like for you seeing yourself on screen in theaters?
Okay. Well, you said something very interesting though when you first said on screen in theaters. But you first said though, what was it like at the premiere, right?
Yes.
Okay. Well, this is a story. I didn't make it to the premiere,
Mm,
but I'm going to tell you what. I'm going to keep it as real. This is going to sound so strange and so bizarre, but it's the honest God truth. I was almost murdered 2 days before the premiere. Did you hear me?
I
Somebody,
heard you. Yeah.
somebody tried to murder me, kill me, not allow me to live. Okay. Now I do not know. I'm gonna tell you now. Sometimes there's no proof of this at all, but I believe that the premiere and the attempted murder were connected.
Wow.
See, everyone, when you do a film like that, of that magnitude, Disney is not able to invite everyone to the premiere. But I was on the list. I was one of the actors who could walk down that red carpet with Johnny Depp, Orlando Bloom, and Keira Knightley. Disney had planned for that to be my introduction to the world. Because once you're there, you are interviewed by every
Right.
entertainment see, everyone was there lined up. And it was the most exciting thing for me to know that I was going to attend. And then 2 days, well, 2 days before that, there was a party at well, it's called it used to be called the Palace. It's on Hollywood and Vine. And when I think about it, I didn't really remember like the entity that sent me the invitation. I wasn't aware of them. Okay, I didn't have familiar knowledge of them, past knowledge. Tracy Bingham was the host, and I know her, so I made sure that I would show up there. Then that night when I'm there, I'm I walk in, I see a friend of mine, two young ladies, one I knew, one I didn't, and beautiful, classy, right? So, man, I walked into the room, they gravitated to me, said, Lejon, how you doing? Oh, it's good to see you. I didn't know you were going to be here. Well, fast forward, we ended up spending like all that night dancing, having fun, laughing, catching up.
Right.
At one point, the lady said that they were going to leave. So I said, well, let me escort you out. When I did that and we were getting up to walk, some big goon walked up to, I won't even say her name. I'll just say, well, I will. It's Masanya. So he walked up to Masanya and he was like, he grabbed her arm and said, hey, he said, before this dude showed up, you were giving me all your time. I'm the one that was buying you drinks. I was getting you on it. And I said, excuse me, brother. I said, and I took his hand off of her hand. And I said, excuse me, but you are not going to stop these ladies nor accost them. And so I'm escorting them out. And okay, brother, do not disrespect these women. And we proceeded to go outside. When I got down the stairs and we got to the car, I'm facing the ladies. They're getting into the car. I'm in front of the car, waving to them, and that's the last thing I remember. Apparently, what they everyone told me is that that dude and another brother came outside. Their car happened to be parked right next to where I was standing. If you can understand that visual, that I am looking at them. There's a parking space that's to my left. All of a sudden, those guys come by. They say they opened their car door and they grabbed me and just took my head and bashed it against the door, the frame of the door, over and over and over, and then let me drop. And the girl said that blood just gushed from the back of my head, and they were like, "Oh my God, he's dead." Can you believe that? Can you believe that? I barely can. So next thing you know it, I wake up at Hollywood Presbyterian. It's right down the street from where I am now. So Hollywood Presbyterian Hospital. And I'm like, oh, what happened? And it was so, okay, to tell you this part. The doctors told my mother and my family that they're going to have to go into my head, my brain, because it's bleeding. I'm still bleeding. If I lose too much blood, I'm going to die. And they said, but it is a risk to go in there and stop the bleeding. They may touch something that will affect my speech, the way I walk, the way I think, my memory. It's very, very risky to do that. But the alternative is death. My mom, we attend All People's Christian Church. You talked to my mom, and we've talked about
Yeah.
this. So our church is All People's Christian Church. Mom started a prayer line, all of our members and their family and their friends, and everyone started praying. Stop the bleeding, stop the bleeding. Hemorrhage, hemorrhage. Lejon needs to hemorrhage. And next thing you know it, the doctor comes back into the room to my mom and says, Miss Stewart, it's a miracle. We don't have to operate. He hemorrhaged and the blood stopped. So we don't have to go in. I'm like, only God, and the
All the
love of
time.
my family and my people saved my life.
And look where you are now. And you have some projects coming out as well too that we'll get into. But this story right here is a living testament of through, as I just discussed with Austin, we talked about obstacles, trials, and tribulations, and overcoming them.
Ooh.
And this is these things. It didn't stop you. You're still here. Because I was telling Mick with even setting up the interview, I said, Mick, he's busy. He's always on the go. He's busy. I'm busy. So even with our scheduling conflict, it worked perfectly. And
Yes.
look where we are.
Yes. Yes. But but we know the universe has things, God has things that, that He is creating for us, and we have no idea, but we just have to be steady, knowing that He's in charge, and be steady on your goals, your achievements, who you want the world to know that you are, and let God know that you are the man or the woman that He created you to be. And once that is in place, it's unbelievable. The joys and the beauty that will entail in your life. You know that you're living proof of that. You're a believer.
Thank you. And it's because of resilience. And you talk about that. That's what we just talked about, putting God first and the power of manifestation, and how if you put it out there for people to know that this is something that you want to do, it will all come to fruition. So what is the most sacred thing about, if you had to say one thing that is sacred about yourself, what would you say?
My heart. My heart.
Mm.
I lead with my heart. And the older I've gotten, sometimes I try and step in there and stop that heart and say, well, the practical thing to do is, or I really should by the rules do it this way. But 9 times out of 10, I'm gonna go with my heart. I have a gut and an instinctive. Like I said, I love everyone. I love everyone on this planet, and which can be, everyone sometimes is not deserving of your love. I had to find out in real life, but that's okay. That's okay. I am who I am. When I was a child, my goal was to meet everyone in the world, every single person in the world, meet them, hug them, shake their hand, know that they exist, and know that we have a connection. As I grew older, people said, okay, everybody in the world, now come on now. So I had to, of course, let reality interject to my thinking in terms of, well, I'm going to do the best that I can. Humanly possible, I'm going to be open there and out there to meet my fellow man because I love him and her. I feel like sometimes I love everyone like God loves us all. The sinners, the not so, perfect, who, as opposed to who is perfect. But I'm out there. I understand. I get it. Because we are all different in many ways because of our DNA, but also our experiences. And that just separates, no one, the shoes that you have walked in or you walk on in currently that I walk in and everyone else, they're completely different. And
Yes.
so we have to have an open mind to understand, well, this person is this way because, or there are circumstances that you didn't have to go through, but they went through, and that's what creates that. But then the difference is, for me, I had to learn is, okay, now that they've had bad circumstances, I'm not gonna. Unfortunately, I need to love myself enough to not let their bad circumstances affect me in a negative way and take all my money or my home or my car or whatever. We gotta work it out. We gotta work it out. Keep myself safe.
Absolutely. And Martin Manuel Newser, who is an amazing filmmaker, writer, director, is here from our group. He says inspirational comments, please.
Oh wow. Okay, Martin, I love you, brother. Martin, I love you. You know that. I'm so excited because in the month of May this year, I fly to the United Kingdom and we shoot Into Nabris, Into the Darkness. Oh, no, I'm sorry, Into Nabris. Well, okay, the first one is it's into okay, Into Nabris number 2, and it's timelines. So this is a sequel to Into Nabris, Into the Darkness. So you could go right now and on Amazon or some type of streaming platform and see the first one. But I'm going to be in Into Nabris 2 timelines, and I play General number 1, and it is a story of wow, it's so much. It's such a great life. It's an adventure story where we will cross timelines. You will find us in this film in ancient Egypt, World War One, World War Two.
Different
So many times
period.
to the present. Yes, yeah. It's a fantastic journey of basically saving the world.
And I'm so glad that Martin created this piece because in the current times that we're in right now, where they're talking about dismantling these things with education, it's important that we continue to go back and learn our history, learn how history works and everything. So yes, as Mick just stated in the comments, award-winning director. The film will be filmed in the UK and it's in Tenebris 2 timeline, which takes you through different time periods. Because I could sit and watch a documentary and it's just like, that's still not enough for me. I still want to learn more about it. So just seeing it through a creative lens, Martin is spot on with it. So it's a great project and I can't wait to see it come to fruition. See this project.
Action packed, action packed, and yeah, you won't be able once you sit down in the theater or you're watching at home on DVD. Eventually, you're not going to leave. So much happens, and it's just yeah, and it captures you, and it grabs you, and you go to the next adventure, and the next, and the next, and the next, and secrets are uncovered, and we all know about secrets. Well, the secrets will be revealed in Tenebris 2. In Tenebris 2.
And Martin said, such a pleasure to work with you. And we will also film in Bulgaria, and Bulgaria is beautiful, very beautiful.
Yes, yes.
So what's
I
it
mean,
like?
go
Go
ahead.
ahead. I'm sorry.
No, no, no.
Interrupted.
Go. You go
I
on.
was saying, what's it like filming in these beautiful locations? For you, what's running through your mind? Like, do you have a moment where it's like an epiphany to you, where you picture yourself and say, "Wow, I can't believe I'm here"? Because you are a traveler. You travels everywhere. You go a lot of places. So for you, what's running through your mind? Like, how do you reset when you're in these locales?
It is again unbelievable. It is a pinching yourself moment. Am I really? Am I really? Am I dreaming this, or is it for real? For example, Pirates of the Caribbean. We where we start the film, of course, locally at Disney Studios and at Universal, and for 3 months. Then the next 3 months, we find ourselves in Dominica. Dominica is a small island south of Guadeloupe, north of Martinique.
Oh, God.
And Dominica has a rainforest in the center of the island. So all of our jungle scenes was in a real rainforest and it was amazing. I never saw the vegetation that I saw when I was down there. It is just amazing, amazing. And they even have like these hot springs that are there in Dominica. And the temperature for the last 100 years stays at 80 to 88 degrees. And it's healing. You go there and you just spend the day, 4 hours, whatever time you have, to allow these springs to cleanse your body, to cleanse your soul, to create a new you. And it's just amazing feeling. Amazing feeling. So there I am in Dominica. Oh, the helicopter. Anyway, so I'm in Dominica. Number one, they pick you up in a town car. You fly first class. So even before you get to your location, SAG rules say you're a SAG actor, you fly first class. So I never flew first class before, and to fly first class and have someone else paying for it, pretty much the ultimate. And so once you're there on the island, there were 500 of us that were filming there in Dominica. But we all get your own room, large room. You have a balcony. You see the Atlantic Ocean. Just if you can imagine being in the hotel on your balcony, Atlantic Ocean, beautiful, serene, exciting. That was what I was feeling. I can't believe I'm here. And then to top it off, of course, you have a per diem, it's only 500 per week cash. So, you're getting paid your amount, your salary, of course, as an actor, but here's an extra $500 every week just for per diem, for incidentals, because you're a star, because you're working with the biggest producers in the world, Jerry Bruckheimer, and that's the way it is. So, again, though, loving the experience. And what I want to add is that there were times when I didn't work for a whole week, maybe even 2 weeks. We were off and on, here. And so all of a sudden, I've got 2 weeks off. They give me my $1,000, and they say, "Lejon, here's a cell phone. If the schedule changes, we'll give you a call right away. Otherwise, do your thing." And there I am. So now it's what? A paid vacation. They are paying me to have fun, to do me. And I will tell you that I was known of everyone there, Gore Verbinski, Bruckheimer, and most of the crew and cast said that LejonStewart is the one that is having the most fun. I mean, that was they labeled me because I'm a people person, like I said, and so I'm not gonna just stay in my hotel and look off the balcony. I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna meet people. And one guy I met, his name was Valence Victor, and he was actually a delivery man for a flower company. So we met at a bar, we drank, we bonded. He's like my brother from another mother. And next thing you know, he tells me that what his job was, and it was Mother's Day, and he had to deliver flowers. So I said to him, I said, can I come help? Can I help you deliver these flowers? And he was like, well, yeah, because if you help me, then we'll do everything twice as fast, and we can get back to the bars and carry on. So now I'm in Dominica and I'm walking into these homes, and these mothers are like just so happy, so overjoyed. They're feeling the love that their children were bringing to them, showing them that love, and I was the vessel. I was one to get there, and it was just like unbelievable. And I will say too, Dominica overall, they are the most lovely people. They are the most lovely people. They received their independence in 1998 from England. So they have that innocence. I looked at the way that everyone was in a state. I would how could I say, I would attune that to back in the 50s where most men worked and the women stayed at home and carried it was that kind of
Different
relationship.
time.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, not that anything against women independence and women bringing home the bacon, because we know y'all don't play. Sometimes you bring more bacon than we can do. But at that point, they hadn't reached there yet, and it was so innocent and so heartwarming. Mom is at home cooking, getting the kids when they come home from school, greeting, their spouse, and it was like wow, so heartwarming, and it took me back.
And here we are now, just in a different time, in a different world. So for you, if you could ask God, like the angels or the powers that be, a question, what would you ask him?
Well, I will start with that. Recently, in August 2024, I was diagnosed prostate cancer.
Mm,
August 2024, doctor told me your PSA level is here, and you got prostate cancer, and we got to figure out how we're going to get rid of this. Okay, how are we going to save your life? So fast forward at the time that we were trying to figure things out, my cancer spread, and therefore they said that surgery was out of the question. We can't do surgery in it spread. So we're gonna have to go through the chemo. So that was December at that point. And I said, you know what? I don't want to. Obviously it's Christmas time, Thanksgiving. I don't want to, spend that holiday season going to chemotherapy. I've heard so many things how it wears you out, you're drained, and so I said, let's just get through my holidays and then we'll go down that road. Fast forward
yes.
at the time that I made that decision, the doctor said, okay, well, we have this medication that at least it will not allow the cancer to spread. Okay, so you take these 4 horse pills every day, taking these horse pills so that it at least doesn't spread. Then they also said that they give you 4 injections, and these 4 injections have to be 6 months apart. So my first injection was December 11th. Number two, of course, will be April 11th. And I'm telling you these details because taking the pills, having the 1 injection, my doctor called me a week. Well, I did blood work a week ago, yesterday, Monday. The doctor calls me Wednesday, this last Wednesday, and he says, Lejon, are you sitting down? I'm like, what? He says, well, we just got your report from your blood work, and your PSA level is undetectable. You don't have cancer anymore.
Look at God.
So my question then, of course, is why was I spared? The doctor says that
Right.
no that he's ever dealt with has taken to the 1 injection and the medication for that time period and reached undetectable. But I did. I did that. Well, God did it. And all the prayers, I posted it on Facebook, asked people to pray. Everyone in my church to pray. My mother would stop strangers and tell them my story and have them pray for me. So that those prayers over and over. The doctor didn't say, he didn't use the word miracle, but basically he was trying to say, I don't really understand it. I've never seen this before, but this is our results. So I'm like, okay, he's talking miracle. So why did God just choose to spare me? Is my question. Why did He make it easier for me than for so many people who have lost their lives from cancer or have had to go to chemo and so many trials to save their life, and He spared me from all that. Why? Why, Lord? But I think I know. I'm here for a purpose. I'm here for a reason. And He
Yeah.
knows I'm not done. I'm not done.
And you still have more, and you have more projects coming out. So he's not done with you. You have a purpose and you have a passion to be here. And you are an award winning actor. So your hard work through decades, years of doing this shows. And Mick says, thank God you are healthy now, Lejon. And I'm so happy for that. The same here.
Well, the fact that you and I are talking, have the honor of being on your show, is because Mickey, Mickey Solar,
Yeah.
has done. She's just amazing. Mickey is so amazing, and of course we have come. It's like, well, you and I. Man, the first time you and I talked, what? We're like we had known each other forever.
Yes.
And what makes me understand that is because Mickey the same way. So like-minded people that are connected, connect other like-minded people together, and here we are. Here we are.
And I told Mick this when I had her on the show in the past. I said, Mick, what you did is you created a gumbo of different personalities, different styles, different everything. Everybody in the group has their own individual creativity. And you have Andrea, you have Mike, you have yourself. And I was mentioning you, I think, when I did my conversation with Martin. It was my second interview that I did with Martin. I said, all of us are in this group collectively. What she did was created a gumbo with everybody from different walks of different lives, different parts of the country, and all of us coming together for one common thing, and that is for Mick. She created. So again, Mickey, thank you for creating this opportunity, this amazing opportunity for all of us to be able to come together. She created this family. We're all like a family in that group. So yeah.
Yes, yes, yeah. And it is, like I said, a testimony to that everyone is valuable and everyone has something to bring to the table. God didn't give just one person 5,000 talents and leave everyone out.
Oh yeah.
No, you have a talent for this. This person has a talent for that. and it celebrates diversity, individuality, love for our personal traits. And once we take these personal individual talents and traits, we, of course, make the world beautiful, better, more diverse, more interesting. I mean, the worst thing in the world for me is to be bored. I mean, pain is bad too. I don't like pain. But you know what? Sometimes I think I'd rather have pain than just be bored. It just drives me crazy. I have to be engaged. I have to be enlightened. I have to have the heart beating like, yes, this is where I want to be. This is what I want to do. Yes, yes, yes. More, more, more. Give me more. And so this life that we all have created, it ain't boring. It is not boring
Not at
to
all.
the least. Yes.
And we still keep it going. We still keep it going and flourishing. And speaking of going and flourishing, you have some projects coming up. I mean, where do I begin? It's like eight of them, eight, nine altogether total. So which one are you looking forward to? We're now in the year of 2025. And I believe that we just talked about manifestation and fruition and making things come into fruition and making things happen. I mean, you've got Finding Wakanda, you've got Blood Tulip, you've got The Girl in a Coma. I mean, it's so many. So, which projects are you looking to coming out this year, 25?
That is yeah, that is the question. Is that to really single one out because they're all amazing directors, cast, crew members that I get to work with, that I get to know. Like already, all of us working, about to work on Antonabras too. There's a group of us that I've never met any of them in person, in real life. Yet we are building this connection. You mentioned Andrea, Benitez, Mike Galindo, Ian. All of us are, we're so excited about number one, of course, doing this project, doing this film. It's going to be amazing in the UK, Bulgaria. I think there are even some things I think in Spain. So doing this project, it is, it's going to be challenging, but so self-realizing because we're here for a reason. We
Yes.
we dreamed and then we created ourselves to be there. It's no accident. It is no accident. And so just the fact that we know we're going to be together, so we've been talking, and I've been watching their lives on Facebook like they've been watching mine, so that I'm supporting everything that they're doing right now, a concert, a new album coming out, talk show, whatever, my comrades are doing, I'm checking them out, and I'm getting to know them professionally and of course personally. And it's so fun. It's so fun because we love each other and they support me as well. And to have that unconditional feeling that
Oh, yeah.
that this people, yeah, we are down for each other, not for what I can get from you, not what I can take from you, not what you can do for me, but because it is a natural, supportive love. Again, unconditional that we deserve the love. We have earned this love because we are on this earth. We are honing our crafts, our talents, making connections, going to the next level. Why not? Why not? And one thing,
Absolutely.
and I want to add to that. Interestingly, when I decided to become an actor, okay, and I know I was a teacher. I'm trying to decide. Oh yeah, I was a high school teacher, and I was in my classroom, and the students were doing some writing. I happened to have my newspaper with me. I kind of, look through there so often, and I read an article where it said that the cast of Friends were making $1 million a week, and
Wow.
I'm gonna tell you that I'm like, okay, I as a teacher, my salary was it was respectful, $50,000 a year. That's not bad. But here I am, and I know teachers are so important, of course. That's why I became a teacher. We create the world. We set the pace so that the world continues. Because if we don't teach these children what they need to know so that when they grow up and they run the world, we of course have failed into what is so most important. And so, of course, being a teacher, I loved it. I knew that it is an honorable profession, and I enjoyed it. But at that point, at the same time, I'm like, Lejon, but what about you? What about me? So I'm in a profession, and it's not easy. Uh, I'm making $50,000. That's not bad a year. But here, these people are actually acting, performing, doing something that the kind of job that you always they always say your best job is something that you would do for free, something that you would have a hobby doing. And I love acting. I really love it when I any school play or any community thing at my church. I was on cloud nine, and so all of a sudden it hit me. Give me so I could actually possibly have the chance of making $1 million a week doing something that I truly, from my heart, from my soul, would love doing, would do for free. Maybe it's time to make a change. Maybe it's time to go for Lejon. I'm gonna save the world with these kids. I'm gonna make sure that their lives are good. But Lejon, what about your life? Is this gonna end here, or is there more in you to continue and give to the world and to show yourself, to let me know how powerful, how valuable. And so my point in saying this is that when I first decided, I'm gonna make money, I'm gonna be a big star, I'm gonna be walking the red carpet. That was really what pulled me in. And then what I found out better than that is that it's the journey. It is the journey. Because I'm not $1 million actor. Not yet. Not yet.
It's
But that's
coming.
okay. Oh,
Manifest it. We talked
yeah, yeah.
about the power of manifestation. So if you
Oh,
put it out there, and I just talked about it with Asif, we were talking about what he says that he wants to have a family, he wants to start a family, and how he was saying he wanted the betterment for his family, like his mom, his dad, all of those things. I told him, put it out there in the universe. If you put it out there, it's gonna come to fruition. So, I
oh,
mean, back in 2024, last year, you guys know that I reached a huge milestone, and that was 700 interviews. And
yes.
we are still going. So, currently, we are at 740 because I just did the one with Austin, and now we have this one with Lejon. So, that is 740 interviews. We are halfway at the 800 mark. So, if you put it out there, it's going to come to fruition.
I guess my new nickname now is 740, not
Yes.
E40. I am 740. I'm proud to say it and loving that that I am so blessed to be your 740 dude all day long, all night long.
And I'm
May I
I'm
say.
here. It's a blessing because again, this is just how powerful manifestation is. It's like we've all been trying to get on the same accord, and Mick made this happen. Like she's like, you gotta have Lejon. You gotta have Lejon. I said, Mick, our boss lady, his schedule, my schedule. We both have been booking things like crazy and getting bookings like crazy. So it's all making sure that things align. And here we are. It aligned perfectly.
Amen, amen, amen. And may I say that I've I've created a term, by the way, when I just said amen. Get
Mm,
this. I'm in church or just feeling the Holy Spirit coming over me, and I say, Amen, a women.
yes.
People look, what? And I say a women because we gotta stop and think about that. Is there any person on this planet that didn't get here because of a woman? And see, amen is a manifestation of that's it. It's true. It's an affirmation that
Yeah.
I don't, okay, I agree with you. You're speaking to me. Well, I can speak to the fact that women, come on now, where would we be without? Nowhere. We wouldn't be alive. We wouldn't have. So, a man, a women. Women have always been put to the back. I can imagine that at one point females, they couldn't even go to school. They only educated the males. And of course, we know about voting, about so many things that women have been pushed aside and thought not able to. deserve the privilege or not capable of the privilege. And we all know that once you give a woman with spirit and heart, or maybe even half spirit and heart, a chance to do something significant, you guys outdo us. You guys make us look bad, which is a blessing. So my affirmation that no one would be here unless we, set aside a woman, a man, a women.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And in these times, in this climate, we have to make it equal. Like we're just trying to be equal in this climate right now. Everybody wants their rights, and that's all.
Yeah, and everyone deserves that right. You're willing to work hard, do what it takes, give of yourself more than anyone else is giving, then your reward should be just as great or greater than that other person that's receiving. But we know we're in a country that didn't see it like that, in many ways. In fact, actually, like we traced it back to our family roots on my mother's side, and there was a white plantation owner who had sex with one of his slaves, and that was my great great grandmother. Okay, and so they're right there. And so what's interesting is that because she was his daughter, then they taught her how to read. Because back in those days, it was against the law for a slave to read. But
Read
and
Bill
so
of
it
Rights.
fast forward, yeah, and it fast forwards to my grandparents have their college degrees. They went to Tuskegee. My parents have their college degrees and masters. My mom, I have my college degree. My children have their degrees, and it comes from the way that you were brought up, the way that you were indoctrinated on this earth. Most blacks in this country didn't have a chance what my great great grandmother had to be taught to read, but set then us into the place that we are. So that's not a surprise. But those people that didn't have that chance, that's why we have this disparity of the minorities, the blacks in this country, because it really accentuates that it was designed and planned for us to be the majority of people in prison, in poverty, uneducated. It was designed to be like that. But as you see, we are a resilient people. We are,
That's
and we break the mold. We shock them. We shock the people that set out to keep us down and show them that you can't keep a good spirit down. You cannot. You cannot fail. We will soar even harder if that's what it takes, and we will do that and surprise you and shock you. There we are.
and it's about having that mentality that even in despair, a lot of us feel despair and so many different things now, that as you said, that resilience that keeps you going as long as you're surrounded by people who keep you lifted up. And I'm
Yeah.
thankful for my mom and so you guys who keep me lifted up every day for doing this platform. It has been like a therapy session for me to be able to vent and help people. And you never know what a person could be going through or what they're experiencing in their life in general. And we have to go through a point where we're reaching out to our neighbors. If you need someone, talk to someone.
Amen. A women.
Absolutely.
Bravo.
Absolutely. Ant-Man says, I say God and goddesses. Right. And not just that, but oh my goodness. But being surrounded by your family, your mom, your dad, they're always going to be there to encourage you. And my mom means a lot to me. My grandmother means a lot to me. As I was just telling Asif a few minutes ago, I'm thankful to have my mother in my life and my grandmother at 80 years of living. And she is still giving me gems and knowledge along the way. We are never too old to go back to our grandparents for knowledge, for gems to keep us encouraged and lifted up. And I'm so thankful to have everyone in my life backing me and supporting me in my circle.
Yes, yes. That's the world. That is the world. Means the world to me. And I would interject though also though, but it's so interesting how sometimes people's or person's family is not supportive, and they don't have their back, and they don't help them, show them, teach them, love them the way I believe that they should be loved. However, when we talk about resiliency, people will go out into the world and create their own family. They will find
Yes.
people, and when you see that happen, it's so amazing. It's so beautiful to see because it's about your soul and your heart. And if that
Yes.
soul, that heart feels for another soul in the heart, whether you are blood related or not, it is that passion for each other, supporting each other, teaching each other, loving each other. So when everyone's not as blessed as you to have that, or me, have the family support that we have received our whole lives, I just love those stories when they kicked me out at age 13 and blah 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 and blah blah blah, and I was living on the streets, and then I met this person and they brought me in and they taught me and they showed me, and I know what love really feels like. And you just want to cry. You just want to cry. Happy tears, happy tears.
Because it's such a good feeling to know that there are people backing you, backing your success, backing your passions, backing your endeavors along the way, telling you that, hey, I'm with you all the way.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
I
We
can't
understand.
say how thankful I am to Mick for just giving me an opportunity. I'll never forget the day she reached out to me and asked me, "Did you want to write for the publication or write for the fashion column?" And I said, "Sure." I'm like, "You want me? You want me, little old me from South Carolina? You want me to write for your publication?" And just the love, the camaraderie when I was added to the group from everybody coming together from all walks of life, like Andrea, Mike, Martin, yourself, and so many others. Ellen, who's also coming on the show as well too. All of us coming together collectively from whatever we're doing, whether it's acting, whether it's food, whether it's beauty, whether it's fashion. She combined it all, and everybody made me feel so welcome. At first, I'm like, okay, how are people going to receive me? Are people going to like me? I was so paranoid and in my head, but she just showered me with so much love, and so did the rest of the family in that group. It's not even really a group, it's like a family because we all check on each other. We all share what's going on in the magazine and in the publication to the group. And Mick just did an outstanding job combining everyone from all walks of life in one place. Because you know, when you have a lot of people, it's going to be a personality clash. But that's not the case at all with this group. No.
No, Mickey is the captain at the helm. And
Yes.
again, though, she picked each one of us for whatever she saw in us, the beauty and the talent that she saw in each one of us, and brought and brings us together and allows us to just appreciate each other, love and respect this person's journey and that person's mission and this person's talent. And yeah, it's a celebration of life. And if I read, I've read the original magazine, Mickey's magazine. I read it over and over, and every time an issue comes out, and I'm like going back to it, and I learned so much. And she just covers so many bases of life, and the industry, and passions, and joys. Little heartaches sometimes. But keeping it real, and realizing that we can overcome, we can be successful, we can live our dreams out. That's what that magazine represents. Have a dream, have a passion. You can make it happen. You can do it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I like to create vision boards. So, as I was telling Asaf a few minutes ago, almost everything that I put into perspective on my vision board, even while flipping through the magazines, seeing, okay, what words stand out to me? What should I put on this board? It's all coming to together fruition for me. Almost everything I do myself a mental checklist every single day while I go into my calendar because my vision board is right here, and then I have my calendar up above it. And I'm like, I do a mental checklist like, okay, I've done this, I've done this, I've done this. Now, what else do I want to do? What is more? What is something that I want more of? And we have to ask ourselves these questions. What is something that we want more of? What do we want to work on? What do we want to improve on? So I'm thankful to be able to continue to keep going on with this platform, but I would love to do more. I would love to expand and do more.
And you are expecting. I mean, I looked like I saw your last interview, and I loved how he even said, he said, "Make," he said, "Stevie, that's gonna happen. You are going there." And it's true that I was thinking when you guys covered that point, I was like, well, I can see Stevie having her own access on Hollywood television show, national ratings. You can be that person, and you will, be. You are on your way. You are doing what you have to do to be that person, to be that entity in the world. So just keep on going, young lady, and you're already a living, walking miracle. What you're doing right now. Yeah, yes. So why not?
You so much. And Mick says, I agree, Lejon. I want to be everyone in everyone's successful life. And Mick, you are. What you've done with this publication, this magazine alone, is you've given all of us an opportunity to showcase our creativity in different ways, whether it may be through film, whether it may be through beauty, whether it may be through fashion, whatever it is, she has given us an opportunity to showcase whatever that is for this publication in her book. And it is positive vibes, Martin, within the group. Everybody gets along with everybody. There's dialogue, there's conversation.
Let
Birthdays, when there's a birthday, we shout out happy birthday to each other. So I mean, it's very supportive. I love this publication, and I wouldn't stop writing for it for the world. And I'll never forget the day she reached out to me. Like somebody just out of nowhere, just randomly. I'm like, okay. And I think Mick was referred to me through a friend or someone referred me to her, and she reached out to me and asked, would you like to write for my publication? I said, sure. And then I think I asked her, why me? And she said, I love your style because I did a lot of, I think at the time it was New York Fashion Week going on. And it was a lot of posts that I put up. And she said, I love the style. I love what you're doing. I love the fashion. And I said, sure, let's do it. Because I love to write. It's therapeutic for me. And I love fashion, which is something that keeps me going. In these crazy times in the midst of chaos, fashion is what keeps me going. Color is what keeps me going. And she knows how passionate I am about fashion and color and style and beauty. So I said, why not do it? You will do it all, Miss Stevie. Thank you. And Chrissy, we need you, Miss Stevie, a beautiful and bold Black woman who inspires and uplifts. Thank you. Thank you, Chrissy. Thank you, Boo. Thank y'all so much. Y'all are not
true.
gonna make me cry. Thank y'all so much. I broke down crying when I brought Mick on the show because she was just pouring so much love into me. And that's something it goes back to what Lejon just said a few minutes ago about hugging people. You never know what a person could be going through on a daily, but just the word alone can help them get through the day. And
Yes.
if I can be that beacon of light, somebody out in these dark times, I will continue to do it because it's like therapy. And I tell you guys another story about me and my mom because I got up kind of late this morning. And my mom was like, you sure you want to do the laundry? You sure? I don't want to frustrate you. I said, it's therapy for me because you're sorting through things. And sometimes when you're sitting down in life, you have to figure out, okay, what is the next plan? As Asaka said, from plan A to plan B, what is going to be your game? What are you going to do next in life? So while I'm sorting through doing this laundry, I'm thinking, what is going to be the next plan? Where do I want to take this platform? And then when when it's my time to go home, it's not time yet because I still have so much to offer the world. But we sit and we reflect on all of these things. So with just time, God gives us a sign each and every day. And the sign for me, my purpose was to help people heal, to overcome fear and challenges. Trust me, I wasn't always this confident and bold as Chris has said. It took me a while to build that up. And it's all through God's strength and just my mom. I have to say, I get it from my mom. The bold attitude, the fierce, the fearlessness. I get it from my mother. So I give her credit to it because she's always been vocal, always been outspoken, always been very critical, always been aware.
I can relate. I can relate, and I'm so blessed because I got it from both. My dad, oh my God, he's up in heaven with my three brothers, but that dude, he, and it's so weird. Okay, I'll play it this way. There were four boys. I'm the youngest one, and I'm the one that got most of my mom's genes. I'll put it like that way. So, and my brother Leon, who's Leon Jr., was more like my dad. Okay, so you got I'm like little Frankie. That's my mom's name. Leon is like little Leon. Lo and behold, fast forward, I'm at my father's homegoing, his funeral service, and I'm talking about him, and I'm telling people, who he meant, who he is or was for me, and what I saw, and all of a sudden I found myself right there at that podium, saying things and talking about myself. So physically, I look like my mom. I have her same build because she's small. My dad and my brothers are big. And I've always equated myself that, yeah, I got my mom genes and this and that. And then I really realized then when my dad was dead that I really am more like he is. It's interesting. Yeah, I do such a realization because he was a go-getter. He was my dad. He was number one. He would get so many jobs. He always worked two jobs most of the time. But even before working two jobs at the same time, he would just he sold like World Book. He sold synthetic meat, which was something in the 70s that came through. So he would grab up something and he would be the top salesman. He would get this to this company, and all of a sudden he's getting all the awards. He beats everyone doing this particular job. But then my dad, all of a sudden, he'll get bored. Once he makes it to
They'll
the
want to
top,
change
I'm like,
up. Right.
yeah, exactly. What's next? So he would just change. He was like, okay, I'm not interested in that. I slayed that horse. Now for the next one, because it's always about the challenges. And I'm like, you know what? I'm kind of like that too. And I never thought that I never looked at those traits that I have. They come from my dad. But again, I think I'm equally created to be both of them. And I'm gonna say shout out. This is a funny shout out to my brother Leon, who's in heaven. Okay, and he was a year older than I. And what I say about Leon is that thank God, if it wasn't for Leon, I wouldn't be here. Okay, meaning that when my mother and dad had Leon, as he grew up, he was in his crib, and Leon just could not stand for my father to get next to my mother. He saw my father touching his mommy. He would scream and cry and make a lot of mess. But one night, Leon fell asleep. One, one night, Leon wasn't at the crib screaming when dad was next to mom. And that's the night that I was conceived.
See?
You know? I mean, really, he could have been another night that Leon fell asleep. But that one time he fell asleep, dad had a chance to make a Lejon.
And here we are. We wouldn't be that if that wouldn't have happened, we wouldn't have had you. The world wouldn't have known your gift, your talent, your perspective, your everything that you've encountered in life. These obstacles, because your testimony is a testimony to so many other people as well, too, that have been through situations or might know someone who's been in a similar situation. And I've had that actually happen where people would message me and say, thank you for bringing awareness to this on your platform. And I'm like, I didn't do anything. It's the guests who are telling their story. And I said this to Raven when we did our Girl Talk Monday. I told her, I said, when my guests come on the platform, yes, I'm the pilot of that ship. But when my guests are on, we rotate that seat. That guest has the pilot seat. When they have the wheel in their hand, they are telling their story. And it's not my place to tell them how to, because you never know who it can impact and help in the end result. Because I've gotten messages from people saying, thank you for touching on this, or thank you for welcoming your guests on the show and having them touch on it. So I just sit back and I let my guests flow and drive whatever direction they want to drive in. It's telling their life story. And I think a lot more people in these times, with all of us that are so divided that don't know a whole lot about each other, should tell our stories.
Amen. A women. And again, no props back to you, my dear, because you gotta remember, you can tell your story in the bathroom by yourself. You can
Oh
tell
yeah.
your story, to your dog that's sitting next to you in the living room. But you give us the platform to tell that story, to share it, to emit it, to scream it from the mountaintops. You are the platform. You are the one that allows us to do that, to for allow other people to hear us and learn and be,
Oh
how
yeah.
can I say, motivated and inspired. So props back to you. We can't tell our story if there's no Mick. I mean, if there's no Stevie. I keep saying Mickey Stevie. That's how you got so much fun. Yeah, if Stevie by Sal wasn't here, the people, your viewers would not be hearing my story right now. So props back to you, my dear. Okay, you make it happen. You make the world go around. You give us a chance. That's all we need. Anybody just needs a chance. Thank you. Thank you for this chance.
You are so welcome. Before we wrap, Fashion Doll, this is an amazing conversation, and we want you all to take something away from this, from both conversations with both men that I've had today. We want you all to take away something because I know that a lot of people feel despair, they feel uneasy about everything that's going on. I want you all to know that it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. And you have the power to control your story. Not that man that's in the White House or anybody else. You have the power to control your story, your destiny, your passion, and your purpose. And I want you all to remember that because I know a lot of people feel hopeless, we feel powerless, but there is something that you can do, and that is right. Talk to God, talk to family, talk to friends, organize community. And I have my little community here. It might not be a community of thousands of millions of viewers, but as long as my word gets out there to the world, out of those six from shares and people sharing and saying she's on to something, just
Yes.
that alone, one view can impact an entire world.
And it does. It does. I know. I know. I'm living proof of that. And again, though, just enjoying being here and reaching out because we never really know who we're going to touch, who we're going to
Yeah.
inspire, who we're going to enlighten. But if we're not here, it's not going to happen. But we are here, and well done. Job well done.
And before we go, Lejon, are there any encouraging words you would like to give to people during these times? Because, like I said, I know people feel hopelessness, they feel despair, they feel empty, like there's no promise or no tomorrow. What words of wisdom would you give them?
I guess the words of wisdom is to, number one, know that bad doesn't always last. So
Yes.
yeah, we all go through bad times, but it's not your existence, it's not your norm, it's not who you are. So know that it will and it can get better. And it really will. It really will. But
Well,
stay true to yourself. Have that end I guess what I want to say is that inner strength to keep the faith and know, don't give up. Do not give up. It may be difficult, it may be maddening and frustrating, but you gotta hold on. You gotta hold on for those brighter days, for the sun to come out. The sun will come out. That's a song, and it's a cliche, but it does come out, and it will shine brighter when you are able to realize who you really are and what you can do, what you can add to the world. Know that you are valuable. No one is like you. No one has the unique, specific talents, ideology, insight, mindset than you. And so know that. Go out in the world and share that. Let people know who you are, and you'll be all
absolutely.
right. Yes.
Yes. And I'm going to add on to what Lejon just said. Today's final thought comes from Audrey Lord. And she says, when I dare to be powerful, to use my strength in the service of my vision, then it becomes less and less important whether I am afraid. So do not be afraid. Do not despair. And I want you all to keep going on with your lives. keep going into your business, your passions, your dreams. If you want to do fashion, go for it. Follow what is inside your heart because nobody else, like again, I said, that man that's in the White House has no control over your heart, your passions. You are in control of your passions and your goals and your dreams. So be happy and enjoy the pursuit of happiness in these crazy times, in these dangerous, crazy times. I want you all to be safe, be vigilant, be aware, and more importantly, find joy. So if I can be that outlet of joy, or Lejon here can be that outlet of joy, or Mick or anybody else that's in that circle can be that outlet of joy, I want you all to go walking away with a smile. Smile,
Yes, yes.
uplift somebody, give somebody a hug, and always check on your neighbor. I want you all to look out for one another. We got to in these times, family and all. And that's all I wanted to say, Lejon. Where can everyone check you out? It was such an honor to chat with you. Finally, we got it done, Mick.
Yes, Mickey makes this happen, and I thank you again. And I knew I would enjoy having to do this, and I loved every moment of this. Thank you so much. Because this is what it's all about. I'm gonna praises of to the world that we are important enough and we are worth it, and just get on out there, understand it, figure it out. You'll be all right.
Absolutely. We're going to be okay. We've been through worse. We've been through crazy and
Oh yeah.
worse, but we are still here. And
Yes.
it goes back to what Lejon said about resilience. We always find a way to come back and reinvent ourselves.
Right. Once you
And I think of it
realize,
as
once you
right.
realize you can do this. So what you're saying, people listen, listen. She's telling you, go ahead. But yeah, I just have to say, it's realizing what Stevie is saying. It applies to you, and you can do it. You are worth it. You are loved.
Absolutely. And you are divine. And you guys can check out this full conversation on YouTube, both of them. I want you to walk away feeling empowered today. It is Transformation Tuesday, and transform your life, change your life for the better. What works for you? I know it's going to be uncomfortable for us to get uncomfortable and adjust to everything that is going on, but this is just a temporary situation. Darkness doesn't last always. So I want you guys to remember that. All right, fashion dolls. And without further ado, we will see you guys tomorrow. Joining me tomorrow, we have Bill Law and Lejon. As always, I had such a great time.
This is 740 signing off.
Yes, 740 interviews, fashion dolls. We are halfway at the 800 mark. So thank you all so much for viewing, for checking out the platform. I love y'all, and y'all have an amazing Tuesday. And talk to you later. Take care.